Always help out a fellow deer if you see one. Even if they're like, help me! Help me! Like, am I, like, is it me that I read it in a tone? Like, it was just all lowercase, there was no, like, it was just like, help me! Help me! I mean, there was an explanation point, I guess. There weren't any explanation points. In my recent videos that I've made, I haven't made a lot of them, but isn't this silence? I guess particularly in the last video that I made. I don't know if I even said anything. I think I just started recording and then I went downstairs and got a sandwich. I mean, I didn't make the sandwich, but I retrieved it, so it wasn't that long. It was about 2 minutes maybe at tops. This looks like an area where there was supposed to be something. Or maybe there was something. Oh yeah, I forgot. Did you guys hear, field offices were added. What would happen if you typed in like youtube.com/ and then just like a bunch of gibberish, and you'd probably get a video. I've never tried that, but URLs are interesting. Have you ever seen a URL and it almost spells out a word, or it like, or maybe it does, and you're like, penis. But these silences, I enjoy them. And it makes me think of a little bit how I'm a streamer. And I kind of do the same thing in my streams a lot. I mean, usually This is just getting really meta into my life, because again, it's like, who cares, who knows? But my alt streams are more so silent like that. Sometimes, I mean, I used to, back when I was binging this game, I think it was the summer of 21. Geez, how it's already 23. But like, yeah, I remember I would start my stream, and I'd maybe somewhat recently made that account on Twitch. And, I don't know when I made it, but I would just put on like Emerson, Lake and Palmer and I would just play and stream for like hours, and no mic enabled. And I think, you know, I'd get a few people come in and say what's up, just my friends or whatever, and then they'd just leave because I'm not talking. But, and it's just funny how like content can be sort of reduced down to that. Like sometimes it's a staple. Like I know one of my favorite streamers used to be Lyric, and you know, he used to I would just watch all of his streams constantly, and I would be there the whole fucking time, and it was wild. It was kind of sad. And I was so excited whenever he went live. And every so often, he would bring up the face cam thing. And then this also reminds me of a thing Chaz said once about face cam being utilized in a creative manner. But he would just bring it up like he was self-conscious or like whatever. And he'd say, yeah, maybe we'll do some podcasty like face cam stuff soon. And the chat would be like, face reveal? Fuck! The chat would go crazy. And I could tell it's pretty obvious. He just doesn't like showing his face. And you know, it could be, you know, it could be like this whole thing that you can break down. Like, oh, I'm just scared, and I have a small penis, and I don't want to show it on camera. I don't know, and I don't really care. Every now and again I'll get that question, face reveal, or like Skinny likes to say nose reveal. It's like, okay, fuck you, Skinny. Because I think apparently he never, like, he'll ask me a question and I'll answer it, and he won't remember it, and he'll ask me like 7 times, but apparently he remembers that I'm self-conscious about my nose. Or maybe maybe that's just him, like he's seen my nose once and he makes fun of it or references, I don't know. Or maybe it's none of those. I have no idea, I don't care. But like, you know, sometimes YouTubers or streamers have these little things and nobody ever really even like mentions it or thinks about it. Like sometimes a streamer won't have a face cam and no one even brings it up. It's just normal. Or like, you know, there used to be this debate in my head about things that are necessary to be successful. And it's like, well, if a guy can fart into a microphone and get 1 million views, then I'm pretty sure he can be successful doing anything. And that's kind of where I landed at that. So it's like, you know, if you don't use a mic or a face cam or whatever it is that your thing is, it's cool. I realize how it kind of, you know, I've recently in life have been thinking about content and YouTube and streaming and just all these endless videos and shit, and then I think about Let's Plays, and I think about how popular they used to be and that they are not popular at all now, and probably for good reason, because back when Let's Plays, you know, came out, people were just realizing, oh, I can record my screen, let's play a game, and that was cool. And it's actually kind of astonishing how long that lasted, because at the end of the day, in my head, I'm kind of thinking like no one cares. Like no one cares. I don't. If I were me watching my video as not me or whatever, I wouldn't care. I don't care what's going on your Toontown screen. And you know, when I think back to Town Let's Plays from back in the day, I only remember like one or two, and I don't even know why I watched them, and I can't explain why they were entertaining, and I honestly think they kind of weren't. It was obviously more about the person, I guess. Not about the game. But I think that has become my thing in life, is like, I'm not really a gamer anymore, I guess, which kind of sucks. I really do miss that part of myself, but I'm not sure if that, you know, where I stand with that. But I'm also like kind of a mute person. I don't talk anywhere near as much as I used to. I feel like most days I have nothing to say, or I have things to say, but I just don't say them because I figure it doesn't matter. Like, I think a lot of times I just give up on trying to have conversations. Well, I don't want to say have conversations. I give up. I think I gave up for quite a chunk. A lot of my, like, I've just become very apathetic. I don't care. Like, people, they just exist, and to them, you just exist. And you know, you could be in the same room with someone like 1,000 times and never talk to them, and both be okay with that. But as for content, it's kind of funny because I feel like, you know, obviously my, like, realm of doing this stuff, trying to not innovate, but just trying to do things like in this regard for success or whatever, trying to entertain, has also sort of vanished. Like, I used to say my goal is to entertain people. I want to be an entertainer. And now, yeah, that's gone a long time ago as well. So I don't know what I'm doing. I guess it's completely like, it's like art, I guess. It's like a completely selfish thing that I'm doing at this point. Because I'm just strictly doing what I want to do. And I don't even, like, know the purpose, but I just have an inkling to do it. Like, I'm not uploading this video. That's why it's so weird, because I feel like I'm in a very unique mindset that I can't even explain. But it's like, I'm not making this video for the people watching it. Which is weird. I don't know how I got to that perspective, because it's like, I don't even know if I'm doing this for me. I'm just kind of doing it, and something in me is saying, let's do this. I want to do it, but I can't explain why. But, you know, like, if you are entertained by this, then that's cool, but that's not really my goal. I'm pretty indifferent to that. Or if I mean, I've noticed that this channel has sort of become like a J-Schlatt ass type beat thing. You know? Like, I feel like if one were to watch these videos, or if maybe many, or if a few were to watch these videos, they'd probably maybe say like, oh hey, you know, your videos help me get through whatever. Once again, it's like, if that's the case, cool. Not really my intention. I guess I just sometimes like talking into a mic. Maybe it's recently I had a thought, like I've been going through this breakup, which I don't really want to talk about ever. Um but just for context. And every so often some like little tectonic would shift in the circumstance, in the scenario. And like one day I'd wake up and I'd read something and I'd be like, oh great. Like now my day is officially going to be thrown out of whack, like offset my day the whole day now, because that's just, I guess, how I've sort of harboring become. And so I'd wake up and open my phone and see something and just be like, ugh. But I opened up Notepad and started writing things, just typing out shit, like whatever I was feeling. And at first it started out as like I guess a mean message. And then once my mind sort of like started getting muddy and what I was saying like didn't make sense, but like once it started once the words just stopped coming out, I just stopped. And in the beginning I was like, I'm fucking gonna send this. And then eventually the words would just stop. And I would feel a lot better without even realizing. And yeah. So, without disclosing any more information about that, it really worked out for me. Lol. But, point being that maybe I don't think venting is quite the term, but I guess maybe I just like sitting in front of a microphone and talking, because it's the same thing as writing, which is not something I even did. Like, I've never been like a writer or a journal keeper or whatever, diary or fucking, or this thing that I was doing where I was like writing out this shit and then sort of just saving the file just for whatever reason, maybe for future reference or something. Or maybe to get revised or whatever. And it was like, don't they say that's kind of like therapeutic to write out your feelings or whatever? I don't know. So, maybe it's similar to that. And, I'm not perfect. I'm not healthy. Not the healthiest by any stretch. And I'm only flesh and cum. So, those things that I was writing, I meant every word, but I regret every word. And I regret talking about it right now. And anyone who might be listening, like if you're my friend or something and you're listening to this, you might have been thinking like, oh, breakup, like we'll see about that, with like a little chuckle. What the fuck? Oh, wait, I thought there was 2 tunes. But chuckle yourself. Go chuck yourself. I don't. Just, yeah. You never know. You never know when it's gonna be the last time. You never know when it's gonna be the last time you ever talk to someone or breathe your last breath. I don't know. I think a lot of my life, as of relatively recent, like the recent years of my life and this channel, feels like this sort of en masse expression of me trying to say that I'm human. Because wherever I go in life, it feels like people don't see me at all. They just see a body. Or think that's spiffy, cool, no one cares. You know. If I was in the street where you'd walk right by, I don't know. People like meme on that movie, and I don't really get it. Maybe that's me. Maybe that's like the moment where you laugh and you're like, fucking loser. But like, when I was watching Joker for the first time, I think it like took forever to get it for free on a website or whatever, and so when I finally got it, it was in like terrible fucking watermarked, like filmed on a phone. But when I was watching that like sort of climax, that sort of second to last act, I remember just being like, I was having like a panic attack because it was just one of those movies for me that was making me feel like, first off, it's like surreal that I'm not the only one that has thoughts like this, and it's like super surface level. It's really just like, it's just really just typical shit that he's saying, you know? But doesn't seem to ever get said. Yeah, I don't know. It started to feel, I remember watching it and it started to feel like it wasn't a movie. Like it started to feel like it was real, I guess. Like in the sense of, I've never done any research, but it seemed like that was a improv acting at the end. I don't know. Anyway, I'm done talking about Joker. I don't know if people like think that movie's stupid, or I don't even know. Like I don't know what the consensus is, but I hear like that term, the Joker. Like I hear that thrown around a lot, and I don't even know like if people meme on it or if it's like just, I don't know how people feel about it. It's not my favorite movie, you know, it's like not the best. It's just whatever. I also think it was a weird look for the Joker, considering the Joker is like mentally insane. And I don't know, I just can't picture that as the Joker origins, and I don't even know if that's like based off of any previous adaptions, or I don't know. Yeah. I'm a guy who lives in a house and, you know, has pretty much everything he needs. And I'm suffering somehow. And that in itself makes me suffer more, just the idea of that. And I can't describe it. You know, I have so much. I have so much. So much to be thankful for and so much to be happy about. Rich people, see? Like... if you didn't see the speech bubble, you'll think I just, like, said rich people. Yeah, I have so much, and every so often when I'm feeling like this, or maybe if I am like recording a video, like just talking about whatever, dumping everything onto video form, I just have that fleeting thought that's like, You suck. Like, you suck and you suck for sucking, and that's even worse. Um, but I mean, also though, there's a juxtaposition where a side by side thought I've always had is, it doesn't really matter where you come from or what you got going on. That doesn't really seem to actually be a full on determining factor of your well being, your mental deterioration or just your happiness. Like, you can be a silver spoon cunt, whatever, and be just as unhappy as a homeless guy who's unhappy because he's homeless. Because that's just life. Like, life is just all, in that societal sense, it's all about, like, perspective. And I think that there's actually probably nothing wrong with that. People like to be like, you have shelter at night? You got a roof over your head? Then sit down and shut up and dribble. Be happy, you're fine. And it's like, yeah, there seems to be definite merit to that. But at the same time, it's like, I've never had the experience of being worse off than I already feel. And all we can really do is imagine and try and put ourselves in other people's shoes, which gives us this sense of, what do you call it? This sense of, like, interpersonal humility. But, I could just sit here in this house where I have everything and say that my life sucks. And I think there's a decent amount of merit. I don't want to say my life sucks, but I feel like you know what I mean. Like, it's just not that simple. It never is. My life doesn't suck. I suck. Whatever. Whatever you need to get that quote to get you through the point. If it helps you. Batman. So how are you doing? I don't really get comments on these videos. Sometimes I do, and it's usually just like Moldmancer is just saying something totally unrelated to anything except just what he's thinking, which is life. That's fine. That's comments. Chaz recently, I guess, vocally expressed some type of remote, like, vague, discreet disdain for people that do that. And I am, of course, guilty as charged of going into people's Twitch chats or comments and just kind of saying, just kind of like spouting like sewage, excrement, and yeah, just kind of pleasing myself, I guess, instead of trying to have conversations. But then again, it's like, what am I gonna do? Go into someone's chat and like fucking say like, "Hi, how are you?" every day? It's like, where is that gonna lead? I'd rather there be chuckles than like weird, awkward, forced, like societally structured conversations. Obligatory asks like, fucking, what shoes are you wearing today? I don't care. But I have a similar, thought about that. That's like, yeah, I mean, sometimes it kind of sucks when, like, I'm just streaming and I'm in kind of a serious mood, I'm not really feeling like reading into every random fucking tune reference that people make in my chat. I'm not always into that. Sometimes I'm really just like, maybe I'm just concentrated on something, and then it's like arguable. It's like, well, maybe I shouldn't be streaming if I'm gonna be like that. Or maybe it's people's problem when they can't read the room, the chat room. Or maybe there is no room to read and it's just, should just be a free-for-all. Trick shot last. I think it was maybe yesterday or today that I just had a thought to sit and record a video, and surprisingly I just did it. Because it's just, I guess it's just been long enough, I don't even remember when the last time I uploaded a video on this channel was. I think it was last year. Yeah, oh yeah, well, I mean before the New Year's video thing. I don't know when the last vid was, but maybe it's like Toonfest or something. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed the break off from this channel, because I did. You know, not in the way that I'm like fucking hate uploading vids on this, but just simply in the way that I took a break and I didn't even realize I was taking a break, so I naturally enjoyed that time away without even, you know, subliminal. So hope you enjoyed your time away, and maybe if your time's still away after this video ends and you never watched it, then I hope you continue to enjoy your time away. Like maybe Chaz clicked off by now. Or maybe never watched. I'm not like putting it on him or anybody else or whatever. I try to stay like, I guess, humored and humbled and just indiscriminate and like oblivious to what's going on most of the time. I never usually am, but it's a practice. Like, I don't know if Chaz watches my videos or if he's like fucking keen on it, or if he watches everyone, or what, like, I don't. And I'm not even, like, I'm a little curious, because he's a really good friend of mine, and he's a very mysterious person that begs all sorts of questions. Oh, just missed that one. Like and comment for that. Don't comment tits, though. Anyway. It's not important, I guess. 'Cause what is. But, you know, I guess, you know, just kind of what I'm putting down here is I hope, and this is just whatever, you know, it's so easy to just say stuff, but, you know, I hope that whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you're doing okay. And, you know, no matter who you are or what you've done, what is it thing Kai says? Something, you deserve love. You lovable. Straight up. I'll just put his video. That video shaped who I am as a person. One of the many that I didn't even realize that really shaped me until I watched it again recently. And I was like, oh my god, I say that thing that he says. But yeah, you know, like, don't smile if you don't want to. But, you know, recently sometimes I've been talking to Chaz, and sometimes he'll just be like a douchey, but like, sorry, I don't know, like, it's hard to read over text really what a person is even thinking, talking about. But like, regardless of whether or not whatever he is, but like, I've been talking to him recently sometimes, and I just like am filled with this feeling of I just want him to be alright. Like whether or not anything's wrong with them, whatever. Sometimes I'm just in this very content, maybe not necessarily, but like a melancholy mindset where I'm just thinking, I just hope you're doing okay. Because fuck if that isn't like all we're trying to do in life. You know, we're born into these mindsets of trying to do so many things, but then I feel like we end up in this place of just trying to be okay, just trying to get there. And it's almost like futile as well, because it's like, if you learn anything about life, you probably learn something of the likes of, you can't just be happy. And it's also its own enigmatic sourcing to like wish it upon someone else. But I don't know, sometimes I'm just talking to people lately and I'm just thinking, man, I just hope they're, maybe they can't hear it in my text, but I just hope they're doing okay. And, you know, sorry to bring you into this if you're listening, because I feel like every video since I met you I've made, I apparently mention you at least once, I guess. Which, you know, you can make fun of that later. But I love you, man. And Stabs, I love you too. Christo, whoever. Mold. You know, when we all get together, it's all joking, laughing, games, whatnot. And when I start my stream, you know, sometimes it's most of the time it's just let's join into Spiffy's chat and crack a joke and have a good time, and it's great. It's a good time, but you guys are fucking important to me, man, and I love y'all. And you know, every day I want to disappear, and fuck if it isn't my friends that keep me from doing so. And that's precisely it. It's not even necessarily that they help me to stay, but it's just that without them I really wouldn't exist. You know? I mean, I would, but you know what I mean. Because there are only so many people, I think, who even think in terms of Spiffy anymore. Wonder what Spiffy's up to. Wonder if he's whatever. I don't know. If people think about me, I don't know. I just know that I feel so fucking polarized and so growing out of touch, detached from reality, and if I'm in a little hospital bed, it's good to see my friends standing beside me with their smirks. You know, not leaving my side. And I know it's hard to just say that to somebody. It's hard to get like serious or emotional or gratuitous, and that's not really a thing that people quite do unless you're watching like a shitty Libby fucking like ABC TV show, soap opera, whatever. But I wish it were easier to just flat out say to someone in a call, just be like, man, I love you. You know, wherever you're doing, whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, you really might not know how much I fucking just want to see you content and, you know, not saying manic crazy shit or slurring your speech or getting high on whatever it is, whatever your drug of choice, whether it's computers or games or something more physical. Just want to see you thinking to yourself, I'm good by this fireside, and I feel warm and content, and I got everything I need. I got my hot chocolate. That's what I think what we all need. There are a few things I'm certain about at all, and basically nothing, but if there's one, and there are a few things that I feel like can be applied to everybody, if anything. But I feel like if I were to apply something to somebody, it would be that. The classic white woman's Instagram, fucking, everyone needs a nice blankie, sitting by the fire, and listening to it and not having any kind of distractions, or unless you're just around good, people that you love. And, to whoever you are, if you're listening to this, I don't know why you would be, but I suppose it's possible that you're still out there looking out for me. Just know that I love you. And, you gave me something that I never thought I could have. Life and love really do often come at the most unexpected points of life. When you least expect it, that's when the craziest shit happens. And maybe that's why it's crazy. But I want to thank you. To whatever ends, and to whatever it means, and to whom it may concern. I know I'll never forget you. And, as much as sometimes, plenty of times, I wish it didn't even start. I can't definitively say if I ever wanted it to end. So I love you. And wherever you go, I'll be right here. Well, I wish you the best. And I hope you find what you're looking for. Always. So, with everything, as much as I could muster in a single night out on the table for all to see, once again, I bring you this final diminishing thought. Good night. But y'all ever heard of Crazy Frog, though?
Dude, I'd love to test out Mavericks.
Would you do it again?
Club him in the head with a hatchet? You know, if I could go back in time, I'd go back over to where I was at that recycling center and he said that he had raped that chick over in the Virgin Islands, because it doesn't matter where you at. You can fucking just spend a bunch of money and do whatever the fuck you want, you know, that's not right. If I could go back in time, I would have dabbed him up right there.
No, you're not. I mean, it doesn't seem like you have any concern for yourself. You're all about, I mean, doing the right thing and not even worrying about Kai first.
I don't have any family. Like, as far as anybody I grew up with is concerned, I'm already dead, so whatever.